This video explains using the Export to Excel function with account schedules. This particular video pertains to Dynamics NAV, and I'm showing it in 2018. If you have other versions of NAV or Navision, you may find that it operates just a little bit differently, especially if you have an older version of NAV. But for the most part, the same functionality will help you out with account schedules in most of the recent versions between 2013 and 2018. So let's take a look at what the problem is, first of all. A lot of you are creating your financial statements by creating the trial balance, dumping it into Excel, and manipulating it in some way. So this can cause a lot of work. It's pretty inefficient, and unfortunately, it can cause some errors. Right? It just becomes inconsistent, and a lot of times your reports just don't look consistent month to month. I want you guys really to be able to create a very nice financial report very easily. So this is what happens when most people use account schedules for the first time. Is you go into account schedules and you select your reports and you've got something you're really happy with, looks pretty good on screen, and you export it to Excel and you say create a new document. And the result that you get is a report that's really just a raw data dump, right? I wouldn't want to give this report to anybody. So I'm going to show you how to do something differently. I'm going to show you what the end result looks like first so you can see how easy it is to do, and then I'll show you how to create it. So I've already set up my nicely formatted Excel shell that I'm going to update with my numbers, and I believe that the numbers that I have in there are for September, so let's update this for October. This is my new month that I'm showing here. If I say export to Excel, instead of choosing create new document, I'm going to choose update existing document, and I'm going to pick this file and say open. I'm going to choose my data tab. You'll see there's two tabs to choose from, and I'll choose OK and say yes to do you want to overwrite the existing file, and in just a second I should have my Excel file open up. My Excel document will open up and you'll see that this is my result. So this is my October file that has my October numbers. I've got a nice little chart here showing me my remaining budget for the year. But let's show you how easy it would be when you need to update this for November. This should be very minimal steps and you shouldn't have to make any changes to your file. So I'm going to close this file. I'll close October and I'll say save because I want those October numbers in there. Let's go to our next period. Now I've chosen November as my next period. So this would be the steps that you would do in the next month, right? You'd go into your account schedules, you choose November, and then you would export it and say update existing document. I'm going to choose that same file and say open. I'll choose the data tab and say OK, and then say yes to overwriting the existing file, and in just a second this is going to open up with my new numbers in it. So here's my new report, and you'll see that this is updated for November with my November numbers, and it's even updated my nice chart. Let's show you exactly how you can do this yourself. I'm going to close this file and we're going to create this from scratch. So I'm going to back up to October. If I was going to create this from scratch the very first time, I would choose export to Excel and create new document. This creates an Excel file that has my raw data dump, and this is the one that I don't like very much that I want to fix. So these would be the steps that you would do the very first time to set this up, and then every time after that you could simply populate your new numbers to the file from NAV. First thing that I will do is I'm going to copy this tab. I'm going to name this one my data tab and this one my income statement tab. On my income statement tab, I'm going to link this cell to the same cell in the data worksheet. In order to do that, I'm going to hit the equal sign, move my mouse to the data tab, choose the same cell on the data tab, click on it, and hit enter. Okay, you'll see that I'm back on my income statement tab now. I can simply pull this formula from left to right and then pull it from top to bottom, and now every single one of these numbers is linked. I can tell because if I click on any of these, see how it says data and it references the cell that it's pointing to. So that block is linked. I need to do one special thing with the date to make that linked. If I show my ribbon here, when you look at your date, it's in a text format. It needs to be in a general format before you can link it. So I'm going to change that from text to general, and then I'm going to link this cell, same way I did with the other ones. Now I'm done with everything I need to do on the data tab. I've linked everything I need. I want this to remain exactly the way this is with this formatting. I'll right click on the tab and say hide. Now this is what I'm going to make look nice so that I have that lovely formatted report. I'm not going to do as much formatting as I did with the really nice one that I showed you, simply because you don't need to sit here watching me format things in Excel. But I'll do enough so that we know that it's markedly different. So let's clean up some of our numbers. I'll also clean up the widths of my columns. I'll make these a little prettier. Put some crazy color on there so that we can definitely tell the difference between the nicely formatted report and the raw data format that we have in Excel. I can hide some columns. I wouldn't delete anything. And let's put in the name of the company so I can add a row in there. Let's do a couple more things here. Add some bold. And maybe some underlining. So we can see that this is really different from the unformatted file. I won't walk you through the steps in putting together a chart, but I simply do have a chart based off of the budgeted amount for the year versus the remainder year. That's all Excel to add a chart into this. And because that chart comes off of these numbers, it's going to update automatically for the chart as well. Once this file is saved, I'm going to close it. Now I should be ready to update this with my information from the next month. So all the steps we just completed are the setup for that nicely formatted file. The next steps I'm going to show you are the steps you'll need to take when you create your financials for the next month, which should be very minimal. So if I come into NAV, I'll set my report so it's to the correct period. I'll choose Export to Excel and say Update Existing Document. I will choose the file I just created, and most importantly, I'm going to choose the Data tab, not the Income Statement tab. If I would choose the Income Statement tab, I would overwrite all of the formatting that I just did. So I want to choose the Data tab. I'll say OK. I'll say yes. My file will open up. This is the result. You can see I've got my nicely formatted November data, and I only had to do just a couple of clicks to accomplish that. If you wanted to see what's behind the scenes, you sure could choose to unhide that Data tab, and you could see the raw data has also been updated to November. These are some quick and easy steps to be able to use the Export to Excel function with account schedules. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are a Business Central user, look at our companion video using the Export to Excel function with account schedules for Business Central. Thanks for watching.